Hi everyone, this is Wade, and welcome to my long play with commentary for one of my favourite Apple II 8-bit role-playing games and one of my favourite computer games of all time, and that is Moebius The Orb of Celestial Harmony. Programmed by Greg Malone and friends in 1985, released by Origin Systems. Moebius is an Eastern-themed role-playing game with martial arts, mysticism, karma, prayers and monks, and hidden shrines, and 4 elemental-themed worlds to hack through. This game was ported to a lot of systems over time, including the Commodore 64, the Atari ST, the Amiga, and MS-DOS. But the Apple II is kind of the technical feat because it's the original, and it was executed on the least powerful, least colourful, and oldest of all these systems. I was in primary school when this came out, and the atmosphere and mystery of it really took over my imagination. So I even got a creative writing prize for my, what you'd call today, Moebius fanfiction. Moebius is set in a world called Canton. The story is that the warlord came and has stolen the Orb of Celestial Harmony and run the population into the ground. Moebius, who's our spiritual teacher and dojo master, he can't go after the orb himself because he lost his physical form when he forged the orb and was busy making life good for everyone else. So the task of finding the orb and overthrowing Cayman falls to Moebius's disciples, one of whom is us. This is all detailed in the manual, the Book of Moebius, which explains the story, mythos, and controls all at once in the voices of your various trainers. So let's begin now. Hark, a signal from the astral plane. Let's look into my book, says Moebius, and that is the digitized face of Greg Malone there, the principal author of Moebius. I think this was only the second game I saw that had a digitized portrait of its authors in it. The first would have been the adventure game Lucifer's Realm. Here we are at the front menu, so the first step is to add a new disciple, and that disciple shall be me, Wade. I welcome you among my disciples, says Moebius. You must pass the rites of initiation. So before we're allowed out, we have to train in 3 areas. I'm going to press T to train. 1, Wade, and here are the 3 areas: barehanded combat, sword combat, and divination. We'll start with the barehanded combat, and I'll do it against an assassin who is also using his bare hands against us. So in the combat, the game switches into a side-on action martial arts sequence, and though it's sort of a little jumpy to the eye, the hitboxes are sort of quite small. There's a kind of frame pickiness about it that, I don't know, that maybe that speaks to sort of more modern fight games. Remember the words of thy teacher, learn thy opponent's weaknesses. Well, turns out the weakness of the assassin is a low kick, or lots of them. Oh, we're off. Okay, so you can do little slides left and right. That's me on the left. And I'm just going to rush my opponent with big strides temporarily while I talk. You can see our body scores down the bottom. First person to be reduced to 0 is the loser. Now that big jumping white bar shows the assassin's fatigue, and it's going way up because he's being so busy while I'm just moving around. Busy doing attacks, that is. So if you land an attack with high fatigue, it does a lot less damage than if you land one with low fatigue. So when I attack in a moment, which is going to begin now, is a low kick, it should do reasonable damage. You can also block by spamming the spacebar like this. No, the guy's not attacking when I'm blocking. Come on. I dare you. Come get it. Yep. Okay, you see me blocking. Okay, but it's now time to go offensive with the low kick to the crotch. Seems to be a weakness of 80s games villains. I remember in Commodore 64, Way to the Exploding Fist, you could very cheaply floor sweep your opponents a lot. But yeah, it's the truth. With these assassins, low kick is probably the best attack. And he's out, and I have now passed the step of barehanded combat initiation. You are approaching mastery, says Moebius. So now let's continue my training in the way of the sword, and we will fight the palace guard because he also uses a sword. Now, in spite of his lofty title of palace guard, the manual for the game makes it clear that these guys are sort of drunkards and vagabonds who are drunk on power, so you don't expect great things from them. Remember the words of thy teacher, first learn thine own abilities. Well, with the palace guard, I am going to rush him, and then some low... Yep, thigh strike. Oh, simultaneous. Got him. He just loves to run forward into my load shops. Almost. He's out. So I've got sword combat down. Approaching mastery. Now it's time to learn the ancient art of divination. Train a disciple, me, D for divination. Now what's going to happen here is, this is a thing you have to do repeatedly throughout Moebius to divine the powers of magic artifacts that you find. And the way to do it is to contain the restless spirit in the box. So I've got a set of 9 movement keys, like a compass, and I'm tapping them, trying to keep that yin-yang from hitting the sides. Didn't do a great job, but I held it in long enough to achieve illumination, which means in the game I would have divined the effect of the particular charm. So having cleared the 3 hurdles, it is time for us to begin our adventure. I must look into the mystic runes. Put side B in Magic's box 1. Magic box 1 is floppy drive 1 of 2. So I'm going to show my floppy drives, eject that first disk, and go and get side B, which is this one here. Put it in, press return. Disk drive has a load. It's an opportunity to talk about the nature of... Oh, return side A to Magic box 1. Okay, eject. And I bet he's now going to ask me first to put something in the second drive. Yep. Go and get side C. It goes into the second drive. We'll hide the drives again. We'll press return. Though it's predominantly described as falling into the RPG basket and it has stats and resources, it's not really a game that's fundamentally based on those stats and resources. It's more about the gameplay itself, where you go, how you get there, the way you decide to navigate from one side of the screen to the other, which can often be reasonably complicated, the way you carry yourself in the world, the way you don't show your sword to the peasants because they'll be frightened. You have to maintain your karma. Some magic spells require prayer, which is a discipline, and the fights don't really get tougher over time. It's sort of, you could charitably say it is the game's Zen attitude, in that you don't rise or fall by the improving strength of your enemies, you rise and fall by your own discipline. The less charitable view is that you end up fighting too many of the same kinds of enemies over and over in this game. That wasn't missed. Some people already said that in 1985. But that's the game which I love. So here we are. We can move around with the 9 compass keys, which I'm doing now. Now over here is a chest that I'm going to pick up by pressing G. Try to open the chest. It opens safely. That's a reference to our dexterity, which is those wings in the bottom right corner. If our dexterity gets injured, it becomes harder to do things like open chests. And we just found a whetstone which we can use to sharpen our sword, which is both our initial weapon and a tool for hacking through vegetation. Now, before we strike out around the coast here, let's pause and have a look at the Earth map, the map of this realm, included in the manual, the Book of Moebius. The tiger depicted at the top, it's the primary beast encountered in this realm, and we will want to encounter it because we want to get some tiger teeth to use for our ventriloquism spell later. You also see a little panda hidden on the map. That's also significant because we want to get some panda hair. You'll see some buildings and islands and interesting structures there to entice you. And now what I'm going to do is compare the suggestive map given by the manual to a detailed map of the level supplied by Andrew Schultz. These maps are available on GameFAQs as well as his summary walkthrough of Moebius. So let's superimpose the real map on Andrew's map, and you can see there it's a pretty close fit with the basic outlines, but you also see Andrew's map has hidden structures. Look at the top left, the bottom right, you'll see those rectangular things. They're shrines that we have to liberate to get through this level, and they're not shown on the original map. You're expected to find those yourself. We start off Moebius's dojo down here. We're going to come up, hack our way past these buildings and around the coast up to the palace of the evil overlord. I'll sneak inside. I will kill the overlord en route. I'm going to come over here, free a monk, make a daring escape from the building. Head up here to where one of the shrines is and install that monk into the shrine, replacing the evil monk who's there. I'm going to come back down Into the palace again. Over in the right wing, there's a second monk who needs freeing. We rescue him. We'll take him out the front door, swim over to this island here, take him down to the second shrine, kill the evil monk, install the good monk. Then I'm going to leave him there, come up here, swim over to this gated island, and make my way to the Astral Gate, where I can proceed to the next level, the Water Realm. I'm going to begin my adventure by walking up the coast here, sticking to this sort of well-worn sandy path. Okay, so nighttime has fallen. You notice from the display at the top, when night comes, that's when your food and water take hits. You can carry a maximum of 100 of each, and also visibility drops hugely, which is why we're going to use a torch. Okay, so now I've got this window. I'm going to have a listen. Press L for listen. Silence. That tells me there's nobody too close to me. Now, the easier way to approach the palace would have been to the east, but I want to visit these huts up here that I saw on the map first. Day is breaking. You extinguish your torch. You notice the sort of quasi 3D. You can move behind things. The display is a little confusing, but it was very impressive to me as a kid. I still think it's a pretty impressive, detailed Apple II graphic. Okay, I'm going to enter this building here and see who's home. Press D for door. And it's a palace guard has jumped out. Your adversary stuns you. He's stealing from you. Oh, great. Immediately, both my food and water are low because that guy stole my stuff. And he's running away, and one of his friends has attacked me. So first I've got to knock off this guy who's attacked me. Doesn't pay to hang around at close quarters with these guys. It's better to anticipate their movements and attack as they approach. And if they get too close like that, I should have moved back. Guard a bit. Oh, he got through my guard. He just did a cheap blow to my head. Okay, he's out. Trouble is, I'm already down to 10 health from that fight. Now, it will heal with time, but his friend's about to jump to attack me straight away as well. He carried some food. Any key to proceed? Okay, I'm just going to move along a tiny bit so I get a few hit points. So that guy who stole from me, he is chopping. He's chopped. Oh, God. Get my sword out. I got my sword out just in time for this tiger attack. I prevailed against the beast. I get some XP. And I got some tiger's teeth, and that's good because I need them for spells later on. So that sort of accidentally worked out well, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for, which is this guy. He stole my stuff, ran away. Oh. He's doing a pretty good Keystone Cops routine on me here. Oh, hang on. Up. An earthquake. That means some more rocks are going to fall onto the map. Finally, I caught him. So when I beat this guy, I'll get back all the stuff he stole. The theft can be a pretty serious danger to you, especially at the start of the game, but even later, because if you're not near a source of water in particular, having your water stolen is a big deal. Okay, I need to be more careful here. I've only got 10 hit points. Come on, walk into this. Ah! My fatigue's so high I didn't do much damage. Still, I am the winner. Recovered my stolen items, including my water, which is the thing I was most worried about. The NPCs, they normally can't and don't carry water. The only way they can get it is if they steal it off you. A hammer, and that's also a vital tool because later on if rocks get in my way, I can do this to them. Press H, swing the hammer towards the rock. I immediately smashed my hammer. Okay. That's disappointing. I'll have to get another one later. Now this farmer here, I want to talk to him. Oh, hang on, I've got my sword out. And if I talk to him with the sword out, he's going to panic. So I'm going to cancel this communication attempt. Press B to switch to my bare hands. Now try. help. The person gives you a torch. The person speaks. Bring a hammer to the gate. I guess that's a hint that when I get to the astral gate, I need a hammer to smash through some rocks there. I've forgotten. Did I get into the second house? I don't think I did, so I'm going to risk having a look. The place is empty. Oh, maybe it was this one that I didn't open. Door opens and straight away out jumps another guard and he's stealing from me. He's going to run. Oh. The chopping sound is... Oh, I can barely finish the sentence in this game. So much stuff happens. The chopping sound is the sound of your enemies hacking through the bush, through the vegetation. So I need to beat this guy before I can pursue the guy who stole my stuff. And I need to win a lot of combats early on anyway to get my levels up. He carried a whetstone, good for sharpening my sword, if I use my sword to cut down vegetation. And that chopping is the sound of the guard who fled from me. I think he's hacking... Yeah, he's chopping his way through the vegetation to escape from me, but not quite clever enough. Oh, he is clever enough. It's making me look rather ridiculous with this. Now night's falling, I can hardly... I'm out of torches because that guy might have even stolen my torch. This is a real problem now. Okay, well, I just saw, because night was falling, it automatically showed me my supplies of food 81, water 68. That's not terrible. I'm going to let that guy who stole my stuff go. Possibly. Let's have a listen. A gentle voice close by. That's the farmer who's just to my left, but I can't hear the guy who stole from me, so it's night and I can't see. I probably can't find him. I'll get my sword out in case anyone suddenly tries to ambush me in the night. I'm going to keep moving up northeast a bit in case the runaway guard is up here. Vegetation. Well, I'll swing my sword to cut that down. I'm going to have another listen now. I still can't hear a guard. Where is this guy? I don't really need to chase him, but I really am just angry at him and want to get him. Okay, I'm going to leave him. I'm going to continue towards the palace now. You see, when I'm in the water, I'm sinking. If I stayed in there too long, I would start to take damage. However, the water that is not moving, as you can see, the water close to the shore is not rippling. That means it doesn't have a current and won't drag me away. Oh, I see a tiger to the west. I'm going to get my sword out. Move down. Try and get the... Yep, beat the tiger. And that XP and that alarm, that tells me I'm up a level, so Moebius has come to congratulate me. This is my first level. I've attained the Order of the Ferret, swift as an arrow, leaving night and day alike, his foes speak no more. I got the tiger's teeth. Good, more teeth. Beast bounds away. And my body score is now higher. And at the start, every bit makes a difference. 27 points is, 20 more, 7 more than what I had. 7 more than the 20 I had. Look out. That lookout was a warning that that assassin, whom we can't see because the palace guard has covered up the graphic, threw a shuriken at me. I'd rather have fought this guy with my hands, not the sword, but I didn't have time to switch back. Doesn't matter, it was an easy win. I'm going to just have time to switch to put the sword away. Oh, good, there's my new hammer that I just got off the guard. Press the key, spam B, yes, I've got bare hands out, you can see at the bottom left. Here comes the assassin. He's bringing the kung fu, so I'm bringing the kung fu. My kung fu will mostly be relegated to a few kicks to the crotchal area. I think it's the sword master in the game's manual says something like, the assassin seeks to overcome his connection with the ground by leaping like the lowly frog. A whetstone, okay. Just backtracking a little, you would have seen those messages about a helpless cry, a hopeless cry for help is heard. Whenever that appears, it means one of the good NPCs, like the farmers or the monks, has bumped into one of the bad NPCs, and that causes the good NPC to variously die or respawn. Now at this little fountain here, I might have done it already subconsciously, but now that I've found a source of clean water, I can fill my water skin, and I might have already done that by pressing G, and that takes my water back up to 100. And that is the only way of getting water in this game, is to go to a water source, physically go to the water source and press G. You can't find it on the go the way you can find food. Hopeless cry for help is heard. Okay, a lot of people coming to attack me here. That means more XP for me. Just went a little spot too early. And again. Your adversary carried some food. Good. Here comes the first of 2 assassins. Some shurikens. Good. Okay. Now let this assassin... Oh, there was a guard hiding behind the tree. Now the deal with the shurikens is not only can the assassins throw them, but I can throw them at other people. Now if you hit someone with a shuriken, it does damage, it may even kill them. If it does kill them, you'll get less XP. But the advantage is you can kill them at range, and if they're a guard in particular, you know, if you see a guard running at you and you don't want to risk having your things stolen by him, you can throw a shuriken at him to take him out in advance. And obviously it's less dangerous than hand-to-hand fighting, because when you throw the shuriken you can't be injured. Obviously you don't want to hit innocents with your shurikens in crossfire, because anyone's shurikens can hit anyone else. Order of the Badger, I'm quite proud of that. Oh, I'm still going here. Okay, but my body's up to 31 now, so I'm moving into, you know, safer territory, hit point wise. At this point I should point out that all enemies of one type in this game are exactly as good as each other. So the first assassin you fight uses the exact same strategies and attacks as every other assassin you will meet in the game. So this guy's getting the better of me. I need to push him back and concentrate. Now the... good grief. Okay, come on. So the upshot of this business, where all enemies of a kind fight identically to all other enemies of that kind, except that their hit points increase as the game goes on, will mean that you won't want to see me fighting every single enemy in this game in real time, because it'll significantly lengthen an already long play, and once you've seen one assassin fight, potentially you've seen them all. So what I'm going to do is, once I've fought enough of a certain type of enemy, if there are no surprises in the fight, if I have nothing new to add, and if I don't die, because that would be a significant event, then I will take to fast forwarding the fight. So for a lot of the fights from here on, you'll see them, they'll just go in fast forward. Okay, I'm just checking my supplies. I just filled up with water at that little well. Great, 100 food, 95 water, things are going very well, 7 shurikens. Climb up these steps. I really like the detail in the flagstones and things here. Height is not really indicated directly, you just have to sort of infer it from the way the scenery is. In this area I imagine I'm going upstairs. There's something about the fighting. Usually if an enemy closes on you, he's moved to a position that's ideal for him. So you can often improve your chances of striking or dodging if you just take one of the small steps forward or back just after your enemy's placed himself in fighting range. More shurikens, okay. Now notice the declaration of the heatwave, bottom right. That means that we'll be using up water at a faster rate during the heatwave. I'll just pause for a second, talk about the weather and the inclement weather of various natural disasters. The explanation for the rapidly changing weather in this game is that the theft of the orb of celestial harmony has thrown nature into disarray. So that's why the earthquakes, that's why the sound of rock slides and sudden storms and things. Up here in the palace, as I mentioned in my plan, So that guy to the top left, that is the overlord of this level. And I want to beat him now because if I do, I can take his blessed sword, which does really good damage. He just called the guards on me. No big deal. I'll knock off a few henchmen before I deal with the overlord himself. So I'm about to fight the overlord, who's a new kind of enemy. He's really just a variation on the guard. Stolen items. I don't remember this guy stealing my items. Maybe he stole from me long ago. Yeah, a lot of people have stolen my stuff. Okay, time to tackle the overlord. He looks at me closely. He draws his sword. Now, if he hits me, his sword will do more damage than average. So actually, if he hits me, this fight could be over in one shot because my body is down to 12. So I'm just going to not speak for a moment and concentrate on him. The timing of him walking into my attacks. Ah, messed up. Good, he's out. So the great news here is that I will get his sword. And his sword is blessed or cursed if you prefer. Healthy shot of XP there. I have attained the Order of the Boar, ivory tusks gleaming, ferocity matched by none, your foes flee or die. They certainly do, so far. The sword shudders in my hands, and then emits a warm glow. I like that colour invert effect. So now if I quickly change to the sword, when this guy attacks me, he's going to feel the wrath of the Overlord's sword, and I might even be able to one-shot him. See how it says my sword is blessed? And there you saw it in action, one hit. It's not that it automatically kills people in one hit, but it does so much damage to this guy, it did kill him in one hit. A whetstone, okay. Just going to have a little... Oh, night is falling. No doubt by now I've got some torches, so I'm going to use the torch. Okay, I'm going to hop into this little pond here. Get some water. Fills me back to 100. I happen to know that around this corner there will be... We can see it now. So see to my right there's a chest peeking out over that wall. So I'm going to duck into this room. Now with my sword, this tree's in the way, so I'm going to press S to swing the sword, press south, and I hack my way through. Now press G to get the chest. I've got a magical map. Okay, so to check out my maps, I'm going to press V for view. Now see, the map that I've acquired is for buildings. Now when I look at it, this is a non-dynamic map showing where certain buildings are in the world. In fact, all the major buildings. It doesn't show where the shrines are, but it shows the gated island at the south, the palace to the north, that's an astrologer's tower out to the east, and the two huts on the left that I broke into / entered before. So this would be really useful to you if you hadn't played the game before, and if you didn't have Andrew's map, which I do. Okay. Day is breaking. My path is blocked. I'm going north. Oh. Yeah, it's very easy to put your fingers back in the wrong place on the keyboard compass of 9 keys, and mine were in the wrong place. So now, going back through the palace, and I happen to know that the monk I want to rescue is up through this area. So I've got my sword ready, open the door, guard comes at me. Hopefully this will be a one-hit wonder. There's a few guards in this room. I'm going to take the liberty of closing the door behind me here. And why is that? It's because if a guard steals from me and tries to run, he cannot go through a closed door. So if I was going to slam it. Oh no, this guy's stealing from me. If he runs south, I'll scream. Okay, I'm not going to scream because that would be undignified. I'm going to go south, close this door, and then take brutal revenge on the guy who stole my stuff. See, if I'd managed to slam that door first, that guy would not have escaped from that room. Got me stolen items. Got a whetstone too. Okay. I'm going to open this door diagonally Because that way the guy won't rush me, I'll rush in instead, like that, see? Okay. My adversary carried a torch. Close the door behind me. He's stealing from me. Well, oh, good grief. Do you see that? He stole so much food that my food is low and I'm actually dying of starvation. That's how dangerous theft is in this game. Possibly it's also a sign that I need to get my food stock up in general. Not only was I hungry, it said food low. Oh, maybe it was the thirst that was killing me. Because I've got a food alert flashing on the left and a thirst alert flashing on the right. Both my alerts will be cured now that I've got my stuff back. Now I just remembered that there's this weird little alcove down here, this sort of dark area that you can poke your head into, and I think it's full of supplies. Let's have a look. You found shurikens, food, a whetstone. Yeah, I mean, that was a relative bonanza. So yes, do that. Go in there. Yep, I must have closed the door by accident when I thought I'd opened it. Okay, we see to my left and above me some friendly characters. Going to enter the jail area. Close the door. Put my sword away. It's a priority. Communicate with this farmer here. Ask for help. Person gives me nothing. The person speaks. Now, when people speak to you, you get a random hint from a sort of a large general collection of hints. Bring hammer to the gate. Well, I've had that one before, I think. Person slips away unseen. This woman looks very friendly. Let's communicate. Help. She gives me a torch. She speaks. It is hard to swim with full hands. Maybe you only sink if you're carrying too much, but in my experience you always sink. Maybe because I'm always carrying too much. Either way, thank you for that. Now the monk. Okay, he's the guy. We're rescuing him from this dungeon. We're going to liberate him, take him back to his shrine. Now we begin by communicating with him, asking him for help. Blessed are you and your belongings. He gives me a whetstone. He says, learn these words. Now he's going to teach me a prayer, my first prayer. I'm going to write these words down before they disappear from the screen. Eknejaljet. And he says, wisdom shall flow from the dead. So he's taught me the speak to the dead prayer. Now, because night fell, I'm just going to check my supply levels. Food 78, water 69, that's good stuff. While I'm paused, I'm going to go over. I've got a word processor document set up. I'm going to type that first prayer in there so I can refer to it later. The text of each prayer changes every time you play, so you do have to relearn them manually from the monks each time. Eknej Aljet is speak with the dead. Get my map back on top. Haven't had to look at it yet, but there it is. Might refer to it later. Now while I'm paused, I'm going to talk about the prayer. Speak with the dead. You see these corpses. Let's turn on our torch. You see that corpse there, and you've been seeing them all through the game, strung up on the bamboo. Well, these poor dead people, killed by the Overlord. Oh, great, the torch has burned out. Let's light a new torch. Step to the southeast. There we go. Now we can clearly see two corpses. Pause. Speak with the dead is a way to, when you do it in the presence of one of these corpses, you'll get a higher level hint. You'll get a hint from a higher grade of hints, a higher pool of hints, or a higher quality pool of hints than you get from the farmers and the peasants and the population. And if you were playing this game for the first time, you would need to do that to collect those hints to get through the levels. They give you probably the last 15% of information that is just not in the manual. Even though the manual is fantastic, it tells you, like, as I say, 85% of all you need to know. The other 15% you get from the corpses in particular, but since prayers are the most tedious mechanic in the game, they require a fast, they drain your body, they drain your mind. I am not going to be doing the non-essential prayers here. The stuff that the corpses would have told us, I will just discuss in the course of the game. However, I will demonstrate speak with the dead once, but not yet, because both my body and mind are pretty low and it's costly to do, so I'm not going to do it yet. However, I've learnt the prayer, I've written it down. Time to talk to this monk again. What I want him to do, I expect from each monk in the realm to give me a charm. I expect to get 2 prayers in total and 2 charms. He says, learn these words. Oh, he's given me a second prayer. Okay, hang on, write it. First I write it on paper before it disappears. This will be the second prayer, you shall be protected. This prayer is protection, and for good form, I'm going to write it down. I'll let day break first. Come on, day, keep breaking. Okay, pause, go over here, type in. Now, I'm only doing this for form's sake because protection is a prayer which, in my entire time with Moebius, I have never found it to be useful. It claims to remove enemies from your presence, but I have uttered it repeatedly with enemies in my presence, and they have remained in my presence. So, given how arduous it is to utter prayers, that's a prayer you're not going to see me use during the game. However, for form, I've written it down. Now, I still want to talk to this monk. Oh, I know what's going on. I was expecting him to give me a charm, but he won't do that until we liberate the shrine with him. So, okay, just check my supplies once again before we strike out. Okay, they're good enough. Now it's time to tell the monk to follow me. You press C for communicate, F for follow me. I will follow you. And he'll continue to follow me so long as my karma remains good. Haven't had a karma lapse yet. See how he's following? Now we're going to make that daring escape I alluded to previously. We'll jump into the water here. The current pulls you under. Oh, a gratuitous visit from Moebius. I'm pleased with your progress, he says. Whenever he intermittently visits you like that, you get a free heal of everything, which is really great, especially on the later levels. Okay, we've made it out of the palace. Now, the shrine is to my west, but I can see a chest there, so I'm going to swing my sword, hack my way through this bamboo. Let's see if this tiger reaches me. Will you defend the person? Of course I will. I prevail. Gets me up a level. This is more good news. I'm hoping to get some more teeth while I'm at it. I have attained the Order of the Wolf. Strength in strategy, hunting in swift packs of death, the wolf stands alone. I got his teeth. He leaves. Okay. Time to get the chest. A magical map. Let's check my view. Press V. Okay, this time it's showing me where the shrines are. We'll have a look. So there's going to be one shrine, top left, and one in the bottom right. Yep. And I am close to that top left shrine right now. You see this map, this shrine map, I can use that on any level and see where the shrines are on that level. So that's pretty powerful. Okay, time to hack through some undergrowth here. Now first have a listen. You notice that a panda's bleating to the southeast. Now I need some panda hair for my magic spells, so before we hit the shrine, I'm going to head southeast and look for that panda. The whispered prayer was the monk, the gentle voice was some of the peasants and stuff. Got to watch out while I'm out here as well that my supplies don't get down too low, especially because there's a heat wave on. It's hard to see here when something's in front of you and when it's just bamboo that you can walk past. There's the panda. I've got some panda hair. The beast bounds away. All you have to do is reach the panda to get some hair. I'm going to check, press M for magic, press E to examine components. So you can see I've got 6 tiger teeth on 3 panda hair, and ideally I'd like to get one more set of panda hair before I leave this level. Note also that if I leave this level, there are no more pandas through all the other levels, so you have to get all the panda hair you want now. Okay, let's use the torch. Gonna start hacking my way to the west. Oops, pressing D for do it. I should be pressing S for swing. So I'm hacking through the bamboo here. Wasn't sure if that was a rock to my southwest, so I did not risk swinging my sword at it because you don't want to hit a rock with your sword. You could shatter your sword. I'll put my sword away and talk to this person. They give me a torch. Here comes another free hint. The Overlord surveys the land by day. I suppose that just means the Overlord is out and about in the palace by day. He's probably asleep at night. It's all irrelevant now because you know what happened to the Overlord when I met him. Now see this building here? This is a cistern. And a cistern is like... I like feeling snug in the cistern, that's why I'm going to close the door. Cistern is a source of fresh water, so I can go in the water, press G to get it. Good. Filled with water now. And if you stand in front of it, you get a full heal. I don't think I needed one, but worth demonstrating. Okay, so the only thing I'm potentially low on is food. But we're getting close to the shrine to the northwest, so I continue to take the monk with me. That tree took a lot of chopping. I can't remember if this sword is the blessed one I got from the Overlord. I think it is. Oops, nothing there. And because it is, I don't think I have to worry about it going blunt. I do want to talk to that woman over there because she might have some food for me. Kind of like the resistance. Reluctant to be seen talking to you, but they've got stuff that can help. C to communicate, H for help. Person gives me nothing. The Overlord wields a powerful sword. Tell me about it. It's in my hand, but I can't show that to you or you would freak out. Okay. Equip the sword. Back to the chopping. Okay. Oh, I know where the monk can't come. That woman's blocking him. So I've got to create a path for him. Yep. Okay, I just made... To the north is the shrine. I've made a little alcove here by the door. Go to bare hands. Communicate. Tell the monk to stay here. And now I'm going to go into the shrine and kill the evil monk. There's the evil monk. He likes to dance around and avoid you and throw fireballs. He can also cast that spell, Inhibition, that stops you from moving until you try a few times. Now, while I'm in the shrine, I actually have the power to throw fireballs as well, but they don't do much. They will stun the monk, which will keep him in place and allow me to catch him, but they won't actually do damage, I don't think. They changed this in later ports of the game to other platforms. The first fireball would stun the monk, that you could keep hitting him with more fireballs and that would kill him. But I'm going to have to do it the old school way by getting into hand-to-hand combat. And the monks are the worst hand-to-hand enemy. Oh, he's hit me. I lost some dexterity. Okay, he's going to keep running if I just chase him. Okay, I take some more damage, but that doesn't matter because I got him with a fireball. That'll make him stand still. Now I can catch him. But you see my wings are apart? Bottom right. That means my dexterity's down. If I'm unlucky during this battle, I could fall over a few times due to low dexterity. The monks are the worst enemies. Aggressive, they use a staff, they have some unblockable hits, and striking them is hard. I think the best strategy I worked out recently is you do a middle kick and you launch the kick, then slide into the monk. Because you can actually move around... Oh, good grief, this is going badly. Oh, okay, I'm going to rush him to shove him back. Good. Yeah, so what I was doing there is I would launch a middle kick, and as it was going up, I would be tapping the slide right button, and that would move me through the range where the monk could block it and place my foot on his head, basically. Okay, he had a body elixir. That's good. It's like a full healing potion. Now that he's dead, we can get out of this shrine. Collect... stumble and slip. That's because of my dexterity. Where's the monk? Here. Okay. Communicate. Tell him to follow me. Take him into the shrine. And that's the first shrine liberated on this level. It gives me a curious artifact. That's the magic charm and resurrection power. In other words, 1 extra life. You begin with 3. You get 1 every time you liberate a monk. And he blesses my sword in case... Well, after that I was hit with that fireball, my sword lost its blessing, but now it's got it again. Okay. Now that charm... I have to find out what it does, I have to divine it at one point. Do I want to divine it now? Let's communicate with this woman. Okay, with 1 monk... Oh, I've got to equip the sword. Quick, quick, quick. The tiger attacked me before I got the sword out, which means I lose. Dexterity's damaged and I'm sick, which means my body will not heal on its own. Now, do I want to use a body potion to fix this, or will I press on and hope that I get up a level and thus get a free heal from Moebius? I think I'm going to do that thing what I just said. So what I'm doing here is chopping my way... Oh, I know what I could do. I can duck into the cistern and get a free heal. If I can just get to it. Oh! Okay, a monk's coming. I've got to go barehanded too, so that he doesn't destroy my sword. I think I forgot to mention that if an evil monk finds you with a sword, he just vaporizes your sword. And that can actually be a game ender if you're stuck in a jungle section and you've got no sword to cut your way out. In fact, that is how my last 2 attempts at this playthrough ended. I spared you from seeing them. Yeah, I really harped on my middle kick slide technique there. A mind elixir, that's a full heal for your mind. Equip sword, swing, southeast, yes, hit again. Alright, finally I can get in this cistern again. Close the door behind me, which makes me feel... Oh, the door won't move. You know why? My dexterity. Okay. Grab some water. Go down, get a full heal. This will fix all of these problems. Body restored. Mind restored. And, oh, no, it didn't. It didn't totally heal my dexterity. Okay. Well, time will do the trick. Stupid dexterity. I can't close any doors while I've got this dexterity problem. I saw that guard there. Hacking my way towards him. Just going to have a listen. The marching feet, that means a guard. Okay, this guy's getting close to me. New level, and it's the perfect time. This will really fix my dexterity. The Order of the Lion. If Majesty ruled as mountains defy the night, lions would hold the sun. As surely as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus over the Serengeti. That's the wisdom of Toto. Now I'm just, okay, listening a bit here. I'm cautious. I don't want any monks to jump me while I'm holding my sword, because then my sword will be bye-byes. Time for some more chopping. What I'm doing here is working my way back towards the palace. I've got to get in there again and pull out the second monk. Have a listen. Can't hear anything. Here we go, in the palace again. Still can't hear anybody. This is good. Get some water on the way through. Food's good. Water's good. Everything's going well. Night is falling. Well, you know what? As soon as night has fallen, or as soon as night has stopped falling, I'll refill my water, because I just lost what I just picked up. There we go. Now, you know what? My mind is 40. It's time to divine that artifact that I picked up. So I press M for magic. I've got the option to divine artifact. Now you can see there, option 1. The first artifact, I don't know what it does yet. I have to divine it to work that out. This is the thing the monk gave me when I reinstalled him in the shrine. Press 1. Now the divining skills that were hard won in the training section of the game come into use as I try and contain the spirit. Keep tapping. Basically, I'm steering it while it jumps around, and I'm trying to hold it as close to the center as I can and away from the edge. I've achieved illumination. I have divined ventriloquism. This is a handy charm which, if I use it and use up one of the tiger teeth, my enemies will sort of hear something that makes them think I'm elsewhere. So it kind of makes them act a bit confused. Okay, that took off some of my mind, but my mind is healing as we speak. Now where I'm headed, use my torch, get some visibility going. The torch immediately burns out. The ground begins to tremble. This game is sort of quite hectoring like that, but it's actually something I like about it. It just feels very live. The environment feels very live. Keen-eyed viewers may notice I came through this section of the palace before, but this time I'm going to go further. What's about this guy tries to steal from me? Nope, he does not. Carried a whetstone. Okay, now I'm going to walk around that rock. Yep. Oh, I don't think... Yeah, this is a bit of a dead end. I've come just the wrong way. Okay, so I have to go back inside. And perhaps in a more southerly direction. Yep, okay, across here. You may see these doors here, but I'm not opening them because they will just attract the attention of guards. That guy was a two-hit wonder. Here's the second cell with the second monk. So it's important first to go bare hands. I'm going to talk to him. The monk gives you nothing. That's right. Well, I think I've been taught both the prayers for this level, and this guy won't give me a charm until I reinstall him to his shrine. So there's nothing more I need from this guy. It's time to bring him with me. So I go communicate. I tell him to follow me. And we've got a bit of a trek ahead of us. Gonna leave the palace, swim to the southeast aisle. I'm going to equip my sword again here in case I run into anybody, because then I can take them out easily with the blessed sword. Now, I also promised you earlier I was going to demonstrate a speak to the dead prayer. When the opportunity presents itself, I will avail myself of that opportunity. Night is falling. Well, you know what? Because night's just fallen, why not grab some more water? Okay, I've got a full water skin. Food's down to 47 though, so I've got to keep an eye out for food on the way. get my torch going. Actually, have I taken the right exit here? I'm not sure. No, I haven't. Let's wait for Monkey to catch up. So I'm going out the front door. Came in the front door, going out the front door. Not too fast because then the monk will get left behind. Is this a good place to do Speak with the Dead? I don't... Oh. This is why it pays to have your sword out. The tiger attacks me, but I automatically win because I'm wielding my sword. Plus I got more teeth. Okay. Now, I see a corpse here, so I'm going to do a Speak to the Dead. Now, what this requires... I'll just pause for a moment. To use a prayer, you first have to partake of a fast. You have to burn 7 body points, then 5 per world. So in this world, the first one, it's going to be 7 plus 5 equals 12. That's going to take 6 ticks of fasting because each tick is 2 body. So here we go, press M for magic, U for utter prayer, begin a fast, yes. 3 ticks, 4, 5, 6 magic. Now that I've fasted enough, I can type in the magic words Ek Nej Aljet. The dead speak. So we're going to get a dead great hint here. Let's hope it's a good one. The gate is within the walled island. See, that is a good hint if you didn't know that. Now, see how I'm losing body still? It's because the fast continues. So I'm going to press magic, stop all to stop that from happening. As you can see, that was costly to both body and mind. So I'm not a big fan of repeating it too often. Okay, now I need to get over this water, and it has a current. I'm just deciding where's a good place to try to swim over. Is here a good place? Okay, to the southeast I can see sort of one clear space of terrain. I'm going to hope that that is a place worth swimming to. Here I go, I'm going to dash southeast. Oh, it's not worked at all. Okay, we're both in the water, this is bad. It's tough to fight the current. So we sort of got, you saw what happened, we kind of got swept back onto this beach. I wonder if we can make it across here. Let's try it. Yeah, that's better. Okay. We both made it. I'm going to swing my sword. I need to go inland a bit here. Okay, night is falling. Time for another torch. And let's pause for a moment. Let's see where we're going. I'm going to look at Andrew's map. So there's the real map of the level. Where we are is here. You can see there's a building a bit to the south of us. That's a cistern. I could stick my head in there for a full heal if I needed it, but I think we'll just press through the jungle towards the shrine at the bottom right corner of the map. Let's get back to it. I like doing what Australians call bush bashing. That is hacking your way through the wilderness, not on the trail. I like this feeling of sneaking around in amongst all the bamboo and the trees, carving my own path. Makes me feel like Indiana Jones in the opening scenes of Raiders of the Lost Ark. The rain is refreshing. Yeah, that gives you water. Gives you some water when that happens. Now that look out, that means an assassin threw a shuriken at me from somewhere. Quiet stealth to the northeast, so he's northeast of me. What's to the south? Nothing. It occurs to me I forgot to get that elixir that I saw to the east before, but never mind. A chopping sound. Now that wasn't me, so somebody was hacking through the undergrowth. Because we're hearing a horrifying growl, that could be the tiger. I'm going to risk using my hammer here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to keep... If you're given the option, there's the tiger hidden behind the tree to the northeast. If you're given the option to chop through a rock or a tree, always choose the tree if you've got the blessed sword, because the blessed sword will not go blunt. Now, how's my water supply going? 91. Okay, food supply is not so great, but in fact, food supply is pretty bad. But I'm going to hope I perhaps run into some enemies or find some houses or something where I can get some food. Okay, there's an enemy to the west. Not to mention an elixir of some sort. Now, I want this soldier to come at me. Huh. Stealing from me. He stole my water. Well, he stupidly retreated to this one square of land from which he could not escape. Got my stolen items. Will I get some food as well? Because that would be great. Yes! Thank you. Okay. Okay, I've just bush bashed my way to this shrine you can see inside there. Listen, just make sure there's only one evil monk around. The sinister chanting, that's to the northeast. That is the evil monk that we have to take out. That was a prominent phrase in my Year 6 creative writing project fanfic about this game, the sinister chanting. Okay, I'm going to put my sword away. Communicate with the monk, tell him to stay here. Wait outside safely. I go in and do my thing with the monk, which means first hit him with a fireball. Press D instead of F then by accident. He's cast inhibition on me to stop me moving, which I can only break by trying to move. Okay, I'm going to try and chuck a fireball down the aisle here. Ah, rats. Right now. Down that aisle. Will it go into... Yep, it went into the statue. Okay, that didn't work. He's inhibited me anew. Just need to have a bit of luck here to... Blasted inhibition. Yep, fireball to the south. If he doesn't move out of the way... Okay, I got him. So he's frozen now, which gives me a chance to get him. Oh, he's on the move. Okay. Time for the mid-kick and slide routine, with the occasional dash backwards to get out of range. And I win. Okay, I've got a body elixir and it's time to bring my friend, the good monk, inside. Communicate. Follow me. A shrine has been liberated. Blessed are you and your belongings. The monk gives you a curious artifact. That's another charm that I will need to divine. Another extra life. He blesses my sword. And I'm up a level. The Order of the Bear. Stark power, looming talons sheathed in velvet fur. Tear chains asunder. Okay, well, this might not be a bad time to try and divine the power of the second charm. So let's go magic, divine. Number 2, the unknown charm. I'm repositioning my fingers for the compass finger dance. Tap, 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 tap. I did it. Bit less time left than last time. You have divine paralysis. Okay, this is a fantastic charm. Does exactly what you think it does, which is it paralyzes most of your foes. It requires the pincers of a water beetle, which I will only be able to get on the next level, the water realm. Okay, my mind is healing up, and it is now with both the monks rescued, it's time for me to swim over to the gated island and battle my way to the astral gate, where I can proceed to level 2 water. I'm just trying to decide where's a good place to try and swim across. Not around these rocks, I'd wager, so I'm going to get my sword out. Cut my way over to the west coast a bit. Okay. I sort of like the looks of here, because even if I jump out and the current hits me, I'm going to get swept to the southwest, and there's more coast down there to grab onto. So here goes. Worked perfectly. Now the little trick you can do here is, see that there's somebody over there. Could even be an evil monk. It is, because he threw a fireball. If you can see your enemies on the other side of this wall, and they start throwing shurikens, some of them will kill each other. I don't want to wait around too long just to have that happen, but... oh yeah, here we go. Look, there's an assassin. Let's see if he'll do it. Come on, assassin, throw that shuriken. Yep, he did it. Just killed his friend. Not smart. Okay. Night is falling. Well, yep, I better put a torch on. It's a bit dangerous to be swimming around here without being able to see where you're going. Ugh. I already started to take drowning damage just then. So here we are at the final island in the Earth realm, and this, my Moebius disciple friends, is why we were told to bring a hammer, because there's rocks everywhere in front of me. I'm going to start smashing. There we go. Ugh, I walked right into a shuriken. Gosh, that was close. I'm down to 2 health, but I think I'm now going to have a little opportunity to... a little opportunity to breathe. Yep. Now the western side of the island... oh, there's a guy coming at me now. What if I shuriken this guy? If I throw it now, it's just going to miss him. I'll just have to let him attack me. I was umming and ahhing there about whether to use a body elixir, and it was perhaps a bit thrifty of me not to. In a minute I'm going to say it was stupid of me not to, I'm sure. Phew, okay, made it by the skin of my teeth again. 3 health left. Some food, good, because I think food is what I've been lacking. Let's have a look. Yeah, now my water's getting down again. Well, pretty sure there's some water on this island somewhere. I know that basically the west side of the island is the uneventful side. The east side has the astral gate. So I'm coming over here to get whatever can be got first. Here's a chest. Found a torch. By the way, one shouldn't accidentally strike a corpse with one's sword. You can do it if you're in desperation for food. The rather grim implication could be that you're getting that it's cannibalism, but I don't know if it's cannibalism or just shaking food loose. Either way, you can do it if you're desperate for food, but it will instantly break your karma. Nothing? Do I want to fight these guys? Well, the guys here. He who dithers is attacked, and I dithered. Yeah, basically I do want to fight all these people because I want the XP. I want to gain more levels. That was a one-hit kill. And another level's coming my way. I have proven my worthiness. I'm supreme in this realm. Okay, that's good. That means Can't get any more new titles in this realm. A map lens. Let's see which lens this is. Press V for view. Population lens. I don't think I had that one before. And this is a good one. Let's look at it. So it shows you yourself and just where living creatures are in relation to you. So basically we can see on that me flashing in the center, a bunch of guards, and that upside down one, I think that's probably an evil monk, or it could be a tiger or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, the population lens will come into its own on other levels. Okay, I saw some water up there, so I know I'm going to be able to get water. Just checking if there's any supplies down here. No, but there is an assassin. Do I want to fight him? No, because I am supreme in this realm. I've got to be careful here as I chop my way towards the location of the Astral Gate, not to let any evil monks make my sword disappear. Oh, you know what would be great? Some more panda hair, because I can see a panda over there. Got some panda hair, great. Where was that water? Okay, get water. That was fresh water, good. My food's already way up, so, you know, probably don't even need to talk to these people for help, but I'll do it to brighten both our days if I can ever get on their space. Communicate, help. Nothing to offer. Yep. I'm too overladen with goodies. Okay, let's use my torch. Gonna stay barehanded now in case I meet an evil monk. Let's have a listen. Sinister chanting to the northeast. Yep, so that's going to be the evil monk. Now what I would really like to do is just shuriken the guy. Where's the best vantage point to do this from? I'm going to start chopping with what? Good point. Get your sword out. Immediately switch to bare hands because, as I said, I do not want to meet the monk with the sword out. I'll lose my sword. And when I go down here, I'm going to immediately throw a shuriken to the east because I see the monk coming. Here he comes. He's been hit. The shuriken was lethal. Fantastic. Don't have to fight the evil monk. I don't get as much XP, but I don't care because I'm already supreme in this realm. And here we are at the Astral Gate. And I'm ready. I'm ready to enter. So, D... north, enter the Astral Gate, yes. As you wish, says Moebius. I assume it's Moebius. I must look into the Mystic Runes, put side B magic box 1. Okay, I had to do a disk swap there. And here is the disk drive spins. That completes part 1 of my walkthrough of Moebius. In part 2, I'll be continuing my adventures in the water realm, so I'll see you there.